Desire has gotten a bad reputation. In religion, it's often treated as something dangerous, something that leads people astray, weakens faith, or proves spiritual immaturity. In manifestation circles, desire is blamed whenever things don't work. People are told they want too much, want the wrong things, or want from the wrong energy. So they try to suppress desire, detach from it, or convince themselves they don't care. But here's the truth the Bible actually supports. Desire is not the problem. Attachment is. Desire is natural. Desire is movement. Desire is life expressing itself. The Bible never condemns desire itself. What it warns against, again and again, is divided identity, a divided mind, a divided heart, serving two masters at the same time. This is where things quietly fall apart for most people. You can want money without a problem. You can want love without a problem. You can want health, freedom, success, peace. Desire does not repel reality. But when desire turns into need, when it becomes proof that something is missing from you, attachment forms. And attachment always reveals identity. Attachment says, I am incomplete without this. Desire says, this would be a natural expression of who I am. Those are two very different states. The Bible describes this distinction in a way that's easy to miss if you're not looking for it. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. That verse isn't about morality. It's not about sin. It's about instability. When identity is split between who you claim to be and who you react as, reality has no stable signal to respond to. Most people don't struggle because they desire too much. They struggle because they desire from the identity of lack. They want love, but they see themselves as unchosen. They want abundance, but they identify as someone who barely survives. They want health, but they secretly see their body as fragile. They want freedom, but they still think like someone waiting for permission. And then they blame desire when things don't work. But desire didn't fail them. Identity did. Jesus never told people to eliminate desire. He told them to align. Seek first the kingdom, and all these things shall be added. Added, automatically, without strain, without bargaining, without attachment. That verse alone dismantles the idea that wanting is wrong. It says wanting is fine, as long as identity comes first. The kingdom is not a place. It is authority, order, alignment. When identity is anchored, desire becomes effortless. When identity is unstable, desire turns desperate. Desperation is not intensity. Desperation is attachment to outcome as proof of worth. This is why people can affirm all day and still feel stuck. On the surface, they say, I am abundant. Underneath, they're watching the bank account. They're checking for signs. They're waiting for reassurance. They're measuring themselves by what hasn't happened yet. That's not desire. That's dependence. And dependence is the clearest signal of lack. The Bible never says God withholds good things to teach lessons. It says God reflects order. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Not so will he become. So is he. Present tense. Identity now. When desire becomes attachment, it stops being creative and starts being reactive. You don't move from wholeness toward expression. You move from emptiness toward relief. And relief is temporary. It never stabilizes identity. This is why people sometimes manifest something and still feel unsatisfied. Because the thing arrived, but the identity didn't change. The attachment simply moved to the next object. More money, more validation, more proof. Desire without attachment feels calm. It feels obvious. It feels normal. There is no inner urgency, no bargaining, no timeline anxiety. Desire with attachment feels tight, pressured, loud, heavy. And the Bible is clear about which state produces results. Let not that man think he shall receive anything from the Lord is often read as punishment. It's not. It's mechanics. A divided signal cannot produce a stable outcome. This is where detachment gets misunderstood. Detachment is not pretending you don't want something. Detachment is no longer needing the outcome to validate who you are. You still desire. You just don't collapse without it. This is exactly how Jesus lived. He desired, he moved, he acted, but he was never attached to outcomes as proof of identity. That's why there was authority in his words. Authority comes from inner alignment, not effort. Most people are trying to get rid of desire instead of cleaning up identity. They meditate to feel less wanting. They affirm to suppress longing. But desire isn't asking to be removed. It's asking to be repositioned. When identity is whole, desire becomes direction, not demand. This is why waiting is so damaging. Waiting tells the subconscious, this is not mine yet. And the subconscious doesn't understand timelines. It understands identity. If you live as someone waiting, reality will keep you there. The Bible never instructs waiting for manifestation. It instructs faith. And faith is not belief, it's expectation. Expectation assumes continuity. It doesn't look for proof every 5 minutes. Attachment is revealed in reaction. That's how you know who you're really serving. You say you're abundant, but an unexpected expense sends you into panic. You say you're loved, but silence triggers old stories. You say you're healed, but every sensation gets monitored. Those reactions aren't failures. They're feedback. They show you where attachment still lives. And attachment always points to an identity you haven't fully released yet. This is not about judging yourself. It's about clarity. You don't shame the old self. You stop feeding it. Every time you react as who you used to be, you reinforce the old master. Every time you choose calm consistency instead, you starve it. A house divided cannot stand, not because God is angry, but because instability collapses itself. When desire is clean, free of attachment, it actually accelerates manifestation. Because desire aligned with identity creates momentum, not resistance. You move naturally. You decide differently. You stop forcing conversations. You stop chasing. You stop explaining yourself. And things show up quietly. This is why the most fulfilled people often look relaxed, not indifferent, not detached from life, but settled. Desire still exists. It's just no longer heavy. The Bible doesn't ask you to stop wanting. It asks you to stop wavering. When you choose one master, one identity, and stay there consistently, desire becomes a companion instead of a problem. It no longer controls you. It no longer defines you. It simply points you forward. And reality follows. Not because you wanted less, but because you became whole.